Hello, everybody. It's BMR here. It's time for another true cryptid encounter story. This one is great. You're going to love it. It's about a group of kids at a cemetery and what they come across. You're going to enjoy it thoroughly, I do believe. And this is going to be, I'm not going to be putting one out next Saturday because, as most of you know that follow the channel, follow me and my gang, we'll be in the Alabama Bigfoot Conference next Friday. Well, I'll be leaving on a plane Thursday. Conference is June 7th and 8th. The meet and greet the 7th. The conference the 8th. Hope to see you all down there. Going to be a great time. So, yeah, I'm going to put this out. I had to save a great one for you guys before I don't put one out next weekend because, of course, I'll be at the conference. For those of you new here, please subscribe to Bigfoot Michigan Rob on YouTube. I do appreciate that. And, of course, the blondes and the booze, Texas Front Porch. And I'll be going live tonight with a live stream tonight with me and the girls. We might break down this. We might break down something else. You know how we've been doing the live shows on Saturdays. I'm on Tuesday nights at 9, Thursday afternoons at 1, and midnight on Saturday. I am going to get on with it. I love each and every single one of you for subscribing. Of course, my book, Bigfoot Michigan Rob True Cryptid Encounters, Book 1, found on Amazon. The link is in the description of this video. I'm going to get on with it. It's Saturday. It's nice outside. When I'm done with this, I'm going to head to the meat market, and I think I'm going to do some ribs today. Ribs sound good today. Let's get on with it. Dogman and shadow people at the cemetery. Rob, before we get started with this, I got to tell you, I'm not leaving my name. Whatever names I drop are fictitious. I'm not going to divulge the state, the location, or anything because this is a secret between me and my friends, of which two will not speak with me or I can't get a hold of. I watch your show. I like your content and what you do. And I got to get this off my chest. So here it is. It was a cool evening when my friends and I decided to venture out to the old cemetery at the edge of town. We are in our early 20s, brimming with curiosity and a thirst for the unknown. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the weathered gravestones, an air of anticipation settled over all of us. We found a secluded spot near the back of the cemetery and made ourselves comfortable, our eyes scanning the darkness for any signs of the supernatural. The eerie silence was broken only by the occasional hoot of an owl or the rustling of leaves in the gentle breeze. Suddenly, movement in the distance caught our attention. We held our breath, straining to make out the shape in the gloom. To our astonishment, a shadowy figure seemed to glide effortlessly between the tombstones, its form indistinct and shifting. We exchanged anxious glances, our hearts are pounding, as we tried to make sense of what we were seeing. Just as we were about to dismiss it as a trick of the light, a second shadow materialized, this one larger and more menacing. It moved with a fluid, almost predatory grace. Its outline vaguely canine, yet distinctly inhuman. A chill ran down my spine as I realized we might be in the presence of something truly otherworldly. We watched, transfixed, as the two figures seemed to interact, their movements almost choreographed. The smaller shadow would dart and weave, while the larger one would lunge and growl, a primal dance that sent shivers down our spines. As we sat in awe-struck silence, trying to make sense of what we were witnessing, a sense of profound unease settled over us. We knew, deep down, that we had encountered something far beyond our understanding, something that existed in a realm just beyond our own. That night, as we made our way home, the images of the shadow people and the strange dog like creature haunted our thoughts. We knew that we had glimpsed something extraordinary, something that challenged the very nature of reality. And from that moment on, we were forever changed. Our perception of the world forever altered by the unsettling encounter in the graveyard. Several years passed, and my friends and I all started our careers in our field of choice. It probably was close to 4 years since our incident at the graveyard. We had all kept up on social media and occasionally would follow each other. But with life moving fast, it was just a challenge for us all to get together at one time and talk about our new lives and careers. We all ended up moving to different states, which made any gathering that much more difficult. Then the strangest and most peculiar thing had happened. I had started having nightmares about the incident at the cemetery. I had these dreams for several days in a row. Then, out of chance, or perhaps coincidence, I ran into my friend Sandy, who was with us at the cemetery. I ran into her at a restaurant in my town, and Sandy had been there out on out of state business. We spent a couple hours talking. Sure, it had been several years since I saw Sandy, but it seemed during our conversation that she had something on her mind. Frankly, I wanted to just tell her about my nightmares. Just when I was going to divulge my dreams, Sandy spoke. So, I have to tell you, I've been having nightmares about that night at the cemetery years ago. I can't shake them. It has become an obsession for me now to find out what it was that we all saw that night. Flabbergasted, I relayed the same thing back to Sandy about my nightmares and dreams. She too became unnerved. She said there has to be a correlation between our dreams and now wondered if us running into each other had to be fate. We also sat and wondered if our other two friends were experiencing the same nightmares and had the same thoughts we were having. Sandy and I decided to try and get in touch with them. Well, that happened with no avail. A week later, it was decided Sandy and I were going to go back to the cemetery. Sandy put in for vacation, as did I. We met up and proceeded to the cemetery after dark on a Monday or a Tuesday during the week. We sat and waited as the sun disappeared on the horizon. Then, once again, to our astonishment, a shadowy figure seemed to glide effortlessly between the tombstones. It was indistinct and shifting, just as before. Then, minutes later, that same inhuman, dog-like predatorial beast appeared, dancing with the shadow person. But this time it was different. The dogman looked directly at us and walked on its two legs and its feet towards us. The ghostly manifestation seemed to change into a more solid form, almost like an actual animal, not ghostly, but as solid and alive as you or I. It had the head of a fierce wolf, with glistening fangs, extruded snout, with high, pointed ears. It looked at us almost like it was grinning, a bone-chilling grin. Sandy and I looked at each other in fear. We grabbed each other tightly. We closed our eyes for fear of an imminent death. Then, minutes went by, and we opened our eyes. You may ask, why did we not run? Well, we couldn't. We were paralyzed in fear. Upon opening our eyes, The cemetery shadow person was gone, as well as the inhuman dog like creature. We got into our car, and while driving out of the cemetery, both Sandy and I got a strange telepathic whisper in both of our ears. Their words rang, "I hope you are satisfied." Rob, I am not sure what we experienced, if not of this world. The dreams for myself and Sandy have stopped. As far as our other two friends, they are yet to contact me or Sandy. That's it, you guys. That was short and sweet and very terrifying. Do you think that? I think they made a wise choice in going back to the cemetery. Supposedly, the dreams have stopped. Maybe this was the warning by this creature that, hey, listen, your your curiosity has been satisfied, almost kind of like predetermining to them, look, don't try it again, or something worse may happen. We often hear about Dogman being a creature that's multidimensional, not quite an animal. In this case, it was interesting that it appeared in a spirit form or a transparent figure dancing with the shadow person. But then when they went back, of course, it turned solid, almost like as the writer, the emailer talked to me about it here, stating that it turned solid, right? That's pretty spooky, and then the grin, we all have heard about the grin, the telepathic communication that a lot of these dog men seem to, at least with people I've spoken with, shows that I've done, other shows I've watched, they seem to have this ability to frighten us. I've never really heard of one killing people. We've heard about the LBL, maybe a couple other stories, but it always seems like they're something of a nefarious creature that can inflict harm if chosen or if provoked. And I think it kind of let them off the hook. I think that when they went back and with the dreams ending, this entity no longer will haunt them or their dreams or get in their minds. I thought that was a very cool story. And again, it's a lot of these things are commonalities, right? We've heard similar stories, but yet this was different. And we do hear stories about dogmen at the cemetery quite often. I've come across them. I'm sure you folks listening have as well. What is it with dogman and cemeteries, right? What is it with these shadow people? I've never really heard of dogman frolicking about and dancing about with shadow people like these kids discovered prior to Sandy, going back with the writer of this. I thought it was a fantastic story. I think it's something that we ought to take a look and reflect back on. I might break it down with the girls tonight at midnight, or we might talk about something else. Leave me your thoughts. Leave me a like. Please like, share, and subscribe if not already. I'm going to get ready to go get my ribs. It's a beautiful day in Michigan. I'm looking forward to meeting some of you when you go down to Alabama. It can be a great time. I won't be doing a story next week, so sit on to this one. Enjoy it. Share me out. Like, subscribe. I am, of course, Bigfoot Michigan Rob, and I love each and every single one of you. Have a great Saturday, and until next time, I'm out.